The water was colored a muddy pink from blood. The sand was dotted and splotched with lines and circles of crimson. Body parts, everything from arms and legs to heads and fingers, littered the sand and stones.
You'll learn exactly what happened across an ocean nearly 4,000 miles away on the beaches of Normandy, France, 80 years ago.
Machine gun fire, mortar fire, guys screaming for their mothers.
This is the National D-Day Memorial in Bedford, Virginia, where you'll see, hear, and take away the gravity of the day in world history that would help pave the path of victory for the Allied forces during World War II.
Altogether on D-Day, the Allies landed in excess of about 160,000 men. Of those, exactly 4,415 lost their lives on D-Day. About 2,500 of them were Americans.
And 20 men from Bedford lost their lives. The small Virginia town lost the most men per capita in the United States. They are known as the Bedford Boys.
Here are some of the Bedford boys. Master Sergeant John Wilkes and his wife Betty. John never got off his landing craft. He's also shown down here with two of his buddies, the two Hoback boys. There were two sets of brothers in the Bedford boys, the Hobacks and the Stevens. Three of the four did not come home. Hoback's sister still lives here in Bedford. The funeral photograph over there is another Bedford boy, Frank Draper. He was killed on the way into Normandy. The pallbearer on the end there is Lieutenant Ray Nance. He was the last of the Bedford boys to leave us.
Their legacy lives on through this memorial and 50 acres of land with statues, monuments, a memorial wall and bricks, airplanes and tour guides who share what happened on June 6, 1944.
Their names are on these plaques that you see on the floor over there. There's 20 names on each plaque. This is the tip of the spear right here. These guys had to land on that beach. This is called a Higgins boat. Each one of these would carry upwards of 30 men, 30 kids in many cases. Every one of them had anywhere from 50 to 75 pounds worth of stuff hanging off them. My finger is a pot of Calais, 20 miles across the English Channel. The Germans had a pretty good idea that this is where the Allies would land.
Here at the National D-Day Memorial, you'll learn about the landings on 5 beaches.
Utah Beach is here, Omaha Beach is here, Gold, Juneau, and Sword over here by the city of Cannes. And the 3 main areas, the area we're in right now is called the English Garden. It represents the planning phase for D-Day. That's where most of the planning took place in southwestern England. Next level up represents the invasion itself. Finally, where the arches is Victory Plaza, symbolizing the final victory over the Axis forces. We'll discuss each one in some detail as we go through.
So what you're about to see up here, this is Victory Plaza. And when you come out here, it just really hits home of the men who lost their lives and everything they sacrificed for the freedom we have today. And it took a tremendous effort to execute the invasion of Normandy, also known as Operation Overlord. Nearly 160,000 men from Allied countries risked their lives that day, and more than 4,400 lost them. Behind me, you can see the flags of all the participating Allied countries. There are 12 flags total, starting with the United States. You'll also see flags from the UK, Canada, Belgium, Netherlands, Australia, Poland, Greece, France, the former Czechoslovakia, Norway, and New Zealand.
Which represents the invasion itself, and it's supposed to give you a picture of what it might have been like to approach the Normandy beaches. You can see the simulated German bunkers up here, the simulated fire, the water.
To me, this statue really brings everything to life on what happened on June 6, 1944, and everything the Allied forces were fighting for.
80 years later, we remember and honor those sacrifices and lives lost across an ocean on the beaches of a distant land many men had never seen until they landed there, and through their stories of their heroism that day. As General Dwight D. Eisenhower said in his D-Day order addressed to the soldiers, sailors, and airmen of the Allied Expeditionary Force, "You are about to embark upon the Great Crusade. toward which we have striven these many months. The eyes of the world are upon you. The hopes and prayers of liberty-loving people everywhere march with you. You will bring about the destruction of the German war machine, the elimination of the Nazi tyranny over the oppressed peoples of Europe, and security for ourselves in a free world. I have full confidence in your courage, devotion to duty, and skill in battle. We will accept nothing less than full victory. Good luck, and let us all beseech the blessing of Almighty God upon this great and noble undertaking. Here in Bedford at the National D-Day Memorial, you can take a few hours and learn all about the day that changed world history. This video is dedicated to the greatest generation. Let's never forget their sacrifices for our freedoms.